Hello and welcome to the model video. It has gotten quite chilly since I recorded the first video, hence why I put on the jumper. But yeah, we digress. So let's jump into the model video. And in this video, I'm going to be essentially showing you exactly what you can expect from the program. And yeah, just take you through the exact, I guess, model and roadmap of what you can expect from FBAI over the next couple of weeks. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So the model, and on the agenda today, we're going to be talking about the model and the roadmap. That's it for the agenda. Make sure to subscribe and follow me for new important updates regarding the program. And you can do that at youtube.com/Yoannidis or Instagram.com/Jesse.Yoannidis as well. Make sure to share the program. Let's start a revolution and change people's lives together. And there are my socials again. Make sure to remember the monthly giveaway. Complete accountability exercises, stay active and level up, and get a chance to win monthly prizes. Quick warning, this is the most important video as of right now in the entire program. Ensure that you watch the entire video. You don't skip and don't fast forward. And a pro tip, watch the video in 2x speed if you want to consume all the content at a maximum rate. So without further ado, let's digress into the model. And instead of showing you the model through the keynote, what I'll do is I'll just jump onto Figma now and we'll go through it together. So this is the model and the roadmap for the FBAI program, right? So we're going to be essentially showing you how to make money with Amazon FBA using agentic AI and virtual assistants. Let's start with the model. Okay, so the model is essentially how to do the product research and go through and find the product, send it to your prep center, send it to the customer, get paid out. Okay, so it's essentially going through that exact structure. And so starting from the start, we can see here. By the way, we've also got the research, validation, compilation, processing, and sales parts of the model, right? And we've also got time in terms of how long I expect each section to take you in terms of where you're starting with your Amazon FBA business and what you can expect, moving forward as well. So if we jump into the first part, so we've got the research part, right? And by the way, this is essentially after you set everything up that I'm going to be showing you in the next couple of days, in the next couple of videos. Okay. But just starting off with Keeper and Solar Amp, they are going to be our two most important research softwares that we use. I'm going to be showing you exactly how to use those very early on because it is imperative for your Amazon FBA business. And we're going to be using Keeper to do reverse product research, right? So doing that reverse product research and essentially finding all the products that we can sell on Amazon for a profit. Okay. And then Solar Amp, we're going to be using essentially to do storefront stalking. So what we might do is you can see the arrow coming down here, right? And essentially what that means is all that's going to look like is, you're going to be finding the products from the reverse product research, and you're going to be going into, so for example, let's say we find some sunglasses from Key, right? They might be having a sale at the time. So what we do is we go ahead and we use storefront stalking technique from the reverse product research and going ahead using Solar Amp, right? Maximizing the utility of that tool, going through storefront stalking and finding all the products that we can sell for a profit. Then after that, essentially we want to be exporting all these files into an Excel file, okay? Compiling a huge list over the first 30 days of doing product research, just compiling that list as much as possible, okay? And then from there, we start getting into the magic, right? From this point, you'll find a lot of, I guess, there's a lot of course sellers and FBA guys who will just say, yep, do this, and then go ahead, buy it, and send it to your prep center. We've got a slightly larger sort of technique or method to go along with this as well. So from the Excel file, you want to be jumping into Claude, going into Cowork, and essentially we have built out an ungating bot, right? That you can be putting all this information from the Excel file into to get your products into an Airtable spreadsheet, right? For either ungated products, So ungated products meaning products you can actually sell on Amazon, and gated products, which are products that are produced by brands that you cannot sell on Amazon. I'm going to be building out a full module for you in terms of how to get ungated or for products, right? For the products that you are currently gated for. However, essentially what a gated product is essentially it's a product that you can't sell on Amazon because you're restricted for the brand. And typically when you're starting off with your Amazon FBA business, there are going to be a lot of brands that you are going to be gated for. And so I'll be able to break down a list of brands that are going to be relatively easy to get ungated for. You'll be able to find products through them. And then slowly get more and more ungated as you build up that experience within the business, okay? But essentially, the way that Airtable works is it's pretty well synchronized with Claude and also Excel. So we can automate this entire section here pretty quickly, right? Which is going to be awesome. After we compile our products into gated and ungated with Airtable and Claude, we're going to be shoving the ungated products firstly into Stealth Seller, right? So gathering all the current sellers of that great product and pushing them into Stealth Seller, right? And I'll show you exactly how that works in another module, in another lesson. But just giving you kind of like an overview of how this system essentially works, right? Now, with the ungated products, you want to be pushing these back into Claude, into the MCP data engine, right? But you also want to be pushing it into Stealth Seller, right? To compile the sellers. And then what we do is when we compile those sellers, we basically track those sellers that are selling the really good products, and we can monitor when those products are being added to their Amazon account, right? So what that basically means is that these great products that we find are essentially being multiplied by the fact that we can stalk those sellers and see what other great products they are listing on their Amazon account. It's an amazing concept, right? And it works super, super well for us at the moment. So you'd be compiling those products, you'd be sending it all into Claude, right? Gated products go straight into Claude, into the MCP data engine, right? Whereas ungated products, we want to be sending the sellers of those good products into Stealth Seller, and then the products themselves go straight into Claude, okay? And then beyond Claude, right? Claude's going to essentially put this product, these products into the product buy sheet, right? For us. We've got a template that's built, as you can see here, right? That we use through Airtable automations, okay? And essentially we've got that product buy sheet, which is great. And we'll come back to this replan sheet in just a second. Don't worry about that for now. But this product buy sheet, essentially what we do is we run it through Playwright, MCP, and Claude again. Just remember that this is a very, this business model is very dependent on Claude and AI, right? So we don't mess around when we're talking about AI integrations. We really do mean it. And we've tried this model for our business, and it works exceptionally well at the moment. Everything is very well automated, and we save a ton of time. And like I said in the previous video, this is how I only spend 5 hours per week on my business, right? So background web scraping, essentially what that looks like is we're going to be taking the products from this buy sheet, we're going to be running them through the internet and figuring out, okay, which products can we actually find for a solid price online from a decent, reputable retailer, right? And then what we do with that information there is, again, we have another Claude bot that we use, and we automate that that order prep, right? So Claude will essentially find the product from the retailer, right? It'll calculate the amount of units that we should be buying based on our profit, right? Based on the amount of capital that we have on hand at the moment. And it'll be going through and going, okay, right, I'm going to put all this in the basket. I'm going to go through the checkout. I'm going to be filling everything out. And by the way, we give it all this information prior, right? In terms of where to send it, right? Our strategy in terms of how to exactly, figure out how many units we want to be buying, right? And then essentially it sends us a notification right here where it tells us, hey, this is the products we want to be buying. Do you confirm, or are we just going to push it to the side, right? So ultimately you do have the last say in terms of what you spend your capital on, but Claude and Playwright and Airtable They do all the hard work for you, which is what makes this business model so revolutionary compared to what you will normally see from any other FBA model. Okay. And then with confirmation of manual handover, we're going to send it straight to the prep center. And I'll be showing you exactly how to get this prep center account set up in another video, but we're going to be sending it to PrepWorks. They're the best. We've been working with these guys for a few years now. I wouldn't use any other prep center, to be honest. They are just that good. Super reliable, good pricing, and just overall just amazing, to be honest. And then from the prep center, we have the opportunity to send it to either FBA, which means fulfilled by Amazon, by the way, if you didn't know. And then we would send it, which means it will go straight to the Amazon prep center and we get prepped there and get sent out to the customer. Or we have the option of sending it to FBM, right? FBM means fulfilled by a merchant. So essentially what would happen is we would keep it at the prep center. The customer would buy it and we would send it via FBM. So using Amazon's technology, we would send it via FBM straight to the customer and bypass the Amazon prep center. Now, I'll go into depth in another video in terms of how FBA compares to FBM and which one's going to be ideal for each scenario. But essentially, what we're going to be doing is running like an 80-20 split, essentially. So 80-20 ratio, so 80 FBA, 20 FBM. It just depends on certain things, right? So size, large variants, large products are going to be good through FBM. Perhaps even like fragile items might be a little bit better through FBM as well. Right. That's essentially how that works, right? Then we've also got Walmart, right? So Walmart's marketplace is essentially what WFS is, okay? And this is going to be like our backdoor option. So worst case scenario, let's say we can't sell FBA or we can't sell FBM or we can't return it to the supplier, then we can backdoor it through Amazon's marketplace, okay? So at least we have that last option. We are also testing an eBay marketplace as well. Recently, they've added some opportunities within eBay that makes it a really great backdoor option, like perhaps even better than Walmart. So we will be playing with that over the next few weeks and just seeing which one works better. We've used Walmart as a backdoor option for a long time now, and it works pretty well. But like I said, eBay is also pretty good, so we're going to be testing that over the next couple of weeks. And then yes, so once the customer receives the product, you will be receiving the payment, right? And then what we want to be doing once we receive the payment into our bank account again, which by the way, with the bank accounts, we will be getting set up as well. Super keen to go over that with you. Once you receive the payments, what we want to be doing is pushing all of that money back into our replan buy sheet, okay? And our replan buy sheet is essentially products that we've already purchased, that we've sold out of, and we want to be repurchasing because they're that good, right? Because we're going to be still making a lot of profit on them. And so that's where the replan buy sheet comes into it, along with the product buy sheet. And so essentially that's a very like off the top kind of breakdown of how this model works. It's pretty simple once you get your head around it. Obviously, we've got the 1 to 30 days for this part here. And then once we start using Claude and implementing Stealth Seller and Airtable, that kind of thing, that typically happens after the first month or so. But yeah, ultimately, it's pretty straightforward once you get your head around it. And once you implement all those AI integrations that we'll be providing to you, it's pretty straightforward and it's reasonably simple, to be honest. Let's talk about the actual roadmap itself. All right, so this is going to give you a really good overview of how we plan to go about this whole FBAI program, including scalers and also the advisory program. Okay. So first things first, obviously we have 3 levels here. First level is going to be FBAI, second level FBAI scalers, and then third level is FBAI advisory. Okay. In the free module, we're going to be teaching you exactly how to launch your FBA business from scratch. So what is that going to involve? That's going to involve setting up your Amazon Seller Central account, setting up your business bank account as well, teaching you exactly how the FBA business model works and exactly how to optimize your first 90 days as an Amazon seller, as I just showed you in the model as well, okay? And what's included in the free module is, of course, a ton of templates as well as Launch OS. And that essentially is going to teach you how to build your foundation and prepare your new business, okay? So that's FBAI. So you get the free training, you get free community, and the weekly workshops, all for free in this free module that you are currently going through now. The next step would be FBAI scalers. Okay. Now, this is for people who are truly serious about building out their FBA business and they want to scale their FBA business to 10K plus per month, right? Using that agentic AI and using virtual assistants also. So when we say virtual assistants, we're talking about offshore employees who work in the business and essentially break down the amount of time that you're actually spending on the business yourself. In addition to AI, it's just a flawless system, to be honest. Really gives you your time back once you fully implement it. And so in FBAI Scalers, you're going to be learning how to launch a profitable FBA business. You're going to be finding winning products with the AI, right? With AI integrations. Exactly how to automate your workflow with prep centers and virtual assistants, right? How to scale sustainably without sacrificing profitability, and how to increase your freedom, flexibility, and control. So with FBAI Scalers, you of course get the full course, right? All 7 modules. You get FBAI OS, right? Which is our entire operating system, our substack with our AI integrations. And like I said, the complete AI software stack as well. And then on top of that, you get a bit of a breakdown of all the operating systems that you get with FBAI Scalers, okay? So sourcing OS, you essentially we teach you exactly how to find your profitable products using our proven sourcing systems. You also get Logistics OS, which is our master inventory flow from purchase to sale, right? So mastering your logistics system, building that out. Scale OS, so turning your winning products into predictable monthly growth. And then you get Automation OS as well. So leveraging the AI to eliminate repetitive business tasks. And then Freedom OS. And in Freedom OS, you can be essentially building a self-operating Amazon business for freedom. Then beyond that, we have our FBAI advisory program. Now, this is for extremely serious, experienced individuals, right? We don't typically allow new starters to come into the advisory program right from the get-go. That's not what it's built for. It's built for people who have experience. Ideally, 2 to 3 years experience with FBA will grant you kind of access to this advisory program. And essentially, it's going to teach you how to scale to 30K plus per month with a team, and you get the masterminds as well. So fast track your growth through one-on-one coaching with myself and 24/7 support. Stay accountable to your goals with curated action plans. So I work with you one-on-one, right? 24/7 support, and essentially teach you how to build and manage your grand team of VAs, right? And like I said, scale to 30K plus per month. This is going to be the program for you. So you get access to the in-person events. You also get C-suite access, right? Which is going to be an exclusive group of all the advisory clients. And of course, a private network for us to discuss your Amazon business. And of course, on top of that, you get the Team OS, where you're going to be able to build a team and scale to 30K per month. So just as a general overview, right? Advisory, or let's start from the start. FBA is essentially just to get your toes dipped in the water to figure out, okay, is this a business that I want to start, right? Really get into it in terms of building out those basic systems, figuring out if this is something you're passionate about, right? And then Scalers is going all in, right? So Scalers is going all in terms of getting all your agentic AI and virtual assistants information and training, right? And then beyond that, you also get increased support with the complete AI software stack and FBAI OS, right? With the full course, of course. And then FBAI advisory is going to be for the seasoned professional, let's just say. So someone who has 2 to 3 years experience, who's ready to take that next step in their business, they want that one-on-one coaching. And essentially, they want someone who's going to be able to hold them accountable 24/7. Okay. So that's essentially the roadmap for FBAI in 2026. So that's going to be it for this video. Let's go through the check-in post. So make sure that you complete the pinned check-in post below, right? Make sure you get involved in the poll. Let me know what you thought about this lesson. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me. And in summary, just make sure you complete the pinned check-in post and get a good understanding for the model as well. Remember that to go to Yoannidis.com/start to book a free strategy call with myself to map out your FBA business, identify growth opportunities, and build a clear 90-day plan. If you love the course, feel free to go to FBAI.com/Trustpilot or go to our testimonial page at testimonial.fbai.com. I'll leave the links below. And let's get to work. Super keen to get really properly stuck in with you in this free module, and I'll see you in the next video.